Hello, hey, Mitchell here, and this is Streaming Consciousness. So, this is like my second official video. My one last week or earlier was just kind of jumping in. I did open up this description in my webpage describing what streaming consciousness is. And it's fascinating because I've been experiencing the planet and the solar system in a way that is beyond what the physical person and the brain can quite process. And so when I read the description here, it was actually quite perfect. So let me read that again here. It says, streaming consciousness. Consciousness is streaming through all of us all the time. We are consciousness. Everything we know is consciousness in the form of an intricately and exhaustively woven matrix of energy and ideas that resembles a solid reality. It is so convincing that throughout history, the history of humankind, only a handful have been able to peek behind the curtain of this reality that we call reality to really understand what true reality is. We are vast, and this material form is but a minute percentage of who we really are. When we perceive from the inverse, from our larger self, in full awareness of the consciousness streaming through us, life truly begins. It is this fundamental paradigm shift that we encounter in meditation. But our mind has been so conditioned to the small version of reality, initially it cannot fully comprehend the broader experience. Let's awaken and question reality. Awaken to the vastness that is you. So I was like, wow, I think that's a pretty good description of what's happening now. I must have written that many years ago. I posted a video way back in COVID, when COVID was happening, and I was like, oh my God, is this going to be a large awakening? Because COVID presented such an opportunity. It caused so many people to have to go in and to kind of turn off, tune out, as we used to say back in the 60s. It's happening now in full exposure, I believe. COVID was an opportunity to go in. Whether that really worked really depended on the person. A lot of people just used it as an escape and found misery, and that's fascinating too. When you find misery, I feel like it's just when we dive only into reconfirming our physicality. But when we go into true meditation, we open up beyond physicality. And that's where the true magic happens, when we expand beyond what we consider reality, which is just physicality, and emerge into our true selves, our self that is the consciousness that can somehow manipulate itself into reducing down into just this small, this very limited dimensional plane that we call physicality. So anyway, all my talks I want you to use as meditations. We are going to use the basic breath, so we're going to only breathe in and out through the nose. So when you're watching these videos, even if you're outside and just listening, if you're moving, even then, close the mouth, breathe in and out through the nose as best you can, even through activity. The basic breath includes these three components: breathing in and out through the nose, tongue to the roof of the mouth, longer exhale than inhale. All of these stimulate within the body the parasympathetic, and by doing so also kind of moves your physiologically moves your processing from the amygdala to the hippocampus. The hippocampus is where maybe it is easier to be in meditation. You can move out of just sympathetic, which is fight or flight, or dorsal vagal state of just being, not being, it's existing in the physical space and in full contrast that physicality creates. The idea of differentiation, me and the other, and then the whole need for safety comes in when we exist only in the space of being physical. So today's point is going to bounce off of this piece that was on the description of the streaming consciousness, and that is, let's extend our physical body to incorporate the entire planet, and let's be the consciousness, the awareness of the planet for this moment. And we can do this through a sense of meditation, but it's such a natural process that it's not difficult. So, in fact, let's just go into a quick earth meditation. So, again, bring your focus very tightly to the breath. And then with your focus at the breath, bring your focus all the way down to the solar plexus, which is, so there's your sternum here, and there's where your rib cage ends, and there's that little hard spot right there. That's kind of the point where your diaphragm attaches behind there. Bring your focus there. And so, why do I say bring your focus? Because when you start using mind versus brain, you discover that mind as its own entity. It becomes the observer or the focuser, and mind is not bound to the physical body. Mind can be anywhere, but the physical body is our anchor of awareness in this experience. So when we come deeper into the body, we use this body as our anchor to really dive deeper into the experience of physicality, which is really what our whole purpose within our larger consciousness is for this experience. So we're breathing, our focus is on our breath. Now our focus is down into the very pit of where our breath is being is being processed, is being breathed. Notice that you don't breathe. Your body breathes. You are just a witnesser of the breath coming and going. And even at that, we rarely spend time to be that witnesser of the breath. So now you're down here in the solar plexus. With your eyes closed, go ahead and close your eyes if they're not already. And imagine just your focus is down here at the solar plexus. Keep your focus there. And what we're doing, part of what we're doing, is we're creating a space between where your focus is generally up in the head or where we call brain, where we call thought. And we want to move focus so that it goes away from thought and into breath and into body and into just beingness. Really just that simple space of in and out, of this interaction with prana, with the breath. With prana is the life force. And so with our focus here in the diaphragm, in the solar plexus, we're just noticing the space of beingness. Very few thoughts are generated down here. Thoughts seem to be up in the processor place. Thoughts can be processed or can be generated throughout the body. The body has incredible intelligence. We just haven't discovered on a broad scale how to listen to all the different spaces in the body and to listen to the body's or how to learn the body's language, its way of speaking. Everything is speaking to us always, and so we can listen to these with our focus. So focus here. And by now I think you've been in awareness of the diaphragm, of the solar plexus for 2 or 3 minutes. You'll notice that there's a peacefulness that comes in when your focus is away from the thinkingness. And that's wonderful. And so be there, be in the awareness space. And be here in the solar plexus. And from the solar plexus, allow your awareness, your focus, to draw down even further. Imagine that you have, so there's a chakra center here in your solar plexus, and then there's one down near the belly button, and then there's one all the way down in the perineum. And imagine another chakra. You have a chakra that lies deep in the earth. And bring your awareness down. You might have to stop at each chakra on the way down, to stop in the belly, stop at the perineum. But create a space of fluidity. And allow your awareness to drop further, even from the perineum, down into the earth. And notice that you are connected deeply from the earth all the way back up into the body. And if you have a sudden awareness of of chakras extending through the heart, the throat, the head, and above. That's great too. Notice that your beingness is more correctly this energetic space that flows between the heavens and into the earth than this little physical body that walks around and sits, in one specific location for the most of its tenure on this planet. That you're this flow. Maybe you see this flow as a continuum with multiple colors exhibiting as you move up and down. But let's go deep into the earth. Let's stay in the earth with this awareness. And you might notice that there's a flow, that this energy that is you is flowing all the time. That it really, I don't know that it can be turned off completely. That it has to continue to flow. And the more you watch and the more allowing you are, and the more interactive with this flow that you are, the more the flow happens, the greater the flow. You have the ability to really open up this flow. And so stay deep in the earth and feel what it feels like to be in this space in the earth. And you'll notice that the earth itself is a deep, vibrating consciousness. That the earth is very much a nurturing, mothering consciousness. And that this earth has always been this deep, mothering consciousness. And that we as individuals, as humans up on the surface, are no less part of earth than the dirt and the rocks and the trees. So this connection is continual. It's what we are as manifestations of consciousness. And even though we spend most of our time reinforcing the dimensions that we are conditioned to see as our body self, as we wake up to this wider awareness, we incorporate so much more into who we are and what we are. So maybe while you're in this same meditation, notice that the sun and the earth are in continual conversation, that the solar system itself is part of this consciousness that you are, that we all are. That this solar system is part of this body, of which this human that you consider yourself to be is but a cell. And so you'll notice that the sun has been doing amazing things lately. There's been solar activity, the likes by which our scientists have not seen before. Extreme solar activity. And the Earth is asking for it. The solar system is asking for it. There's a consciousness evolution happening. And as human beings, if we open up beyond the chatter of the mind that just shows what's maybe only on the news stream or what our immediate senses feed to us, if we back away from that, really back away from it, and come in and become our true energy, then we begin to see this much, much, much bigger picture. We're far more connected with all that is when we allow our consciousness, our focus, to embrace this wider consciousness of what is. If your eyes are closed and you're in meditation, please, stay if you would like in this space of communing with Earth and maybe with the galaxy or the solar system. If you wish to come out, just gently bring your awareness first back into that solar plexus, and then up into your breath, maybe, at the nose, and then gently open your eyes, allowing just light to come in, and sit for a moment with your eyes open without trying to not label what is coming in the light forms that your eyes, that your senses are perceiving. Just be very, very gentle in this awakening from your meditation. And then just go about your day. But throughout the day, come back multiple times to this basic breath. Tongue to the roof of the mouth, in and out only through the nose, mouth closed. Maybe 2 in, not big breaths, but deep breaths, activating the diaphragm, and maybe 4 out. So it's a conscious awareness of the breath. Bring your focus, your awareness, your attention down to the diaphragm, into the body multiple times throughout your day, and notice how that anchors your awareness in a way that just being in the thinkingness throughout your day can never do. So, thank you for watching. It's been wonderful to share this with you. I welcome conversations, comments, subscribe, like. We're just getting started. And thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.